All right, we'll get started. Happy morning. Happy Friday. Welcome all to our Wake Up USA movement. And it's an internal moment for each of us and how we can really make it as a consistent efforts, consistently showing up every day in every way. We have been holding this Energile early bird sessions. Yeah, and as part of Fridays, we have weekly book breakthrough sessions. This has been going on for the past almost 3 years in various medium, and then we implemented here also, and making that how we can really, how the books can really be part of our growth. When I say book, it doesn't need to be just the some printed books alone. Yeah, it can be anything, yeah, we have read. Could be an article, could be something really inspiring, could be some case study, could be um, anything and everything, which really have created some sort of breakthrough in the person who come and share here, and also that breakthrough has been shared to others as well, right? So it's more of we say two things, right, in Energile coaching, right? Either 2-point agenda, right? Getting inspired and being inspiring, yeah, and how we can do it. Yes, we'll just get reminded with our we have a very big mission for this vision of Wake Up USA movement. The mission is to create new leadership for the new era. New leadership in a way. To awaken the new you is the core theme for the entire year. And on that, on different month, different themes, we have been doing it. And the last month, till yesterday, August, we had a beautiful, great theme on love and relationship mastery. And this month, we are going to have, it's a bit of surprise. We'll have another amazing, very useful, which will be really very impactful mastery for us. Yes, so we'll get reminded about our code of honor as having 100% commitment, 100% responsibility, 100% ownership. And the leadership ingredients are having a self-reliant leader and committed decision making, brave thinking, possibility thinking, taking the inspired actions, and being 100% resourcefulness. Then also bringing the mutual accountability in all walks of our life. With that note, we'll just jump start with our book breakthrough. Today we'll have a casual random books, since we didn't get any volunteer enrolled for this week. I think being a holiday weekend, if you are not there, that's okay. Yeah, we'll make the time really useful for each of us. So feel free to come share the book which has really impacted. Yeah, we'll make it a very casual sharing. So it can just be from the top of the mind, or you can just pick a book from the from your book rack and then come read a chapter for us here, any book, and which will be impactful. So maybe Vinila, Lamila, myself, we can do it. And maybe we'll get started. Who wanna start with the book which is really inspiring? You feel that everyone should read, and that book has some strong message. If you feel like just jump and share, jump out of joy and share. Alamila, would you like to just start with the books which has inspiring? Okay, having the book. Awesome, great. Vinila, what are a couple of topics?
So I was just browsing through, but looks like the Atomic Habits, that book, I felt like it was very, like a very good book. Like I think Shireen already presented about it once, but like I have read a synopsis, but I keep thinking I should go back and read it leisurely. So that is one book, I think it's very useful for all of us. Uh, yeah. I will try to grab a book, but my daughter, she woke up and she came running and she's napping on me now. So I'll
Okay.
try to read something on phone and we'll talk in a bit.
Sure, sure. Yes, Ashwini, welcome. Would you like to share any book which has inspired you or still inspiring you want others also to read?
I can share for next week, Mahendiran. Yeah, I'm thinking about U Square and
Oh, this is Ashok. Awesome. Yeah, sure, Ashok.
yeah,
Wow.
next week.
U Square. Beautiful.
Yeah, try
Yeah.
spreadsheet and U Square and QLS. It's a very small, teeny mini book, but
Lovely, lovely. So looking forward to it. Yeah. Sure. Yes, Vanilla, we can have Ashok in the schedule. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, since Vanilla spoke about atomic habits, just want to share a few around that book. The book which is written by James Clear and just been sold in millions and millions of copies across the world, and it talks about one simple idea, right? The idea that a small and incremental changes in our behavior, how it can lead to a significant, massive, amazing, greater improvements in life over time. That's the whole idea behind the book. And it really talks about, take a small idea, very, very, even if it is a small, in fact, the book emphasizes on that. And then how we can build it consistently. And that's why, the name itself is called as atomic habit, like it's an atom. The habit can even be as tiny as possible, and then how it can lead very, very transformational changes or transformation in your life. And it's also not about making a huge change instantly, like what we also do, right? So since last December we started, almost we are going to touch it 1 year, and every day in every way, when we come and show this consistency, and how we can really do it. So it talks about 4 laws on the behavioral change. Yeah, any behavioral change if you want to do, it has to first have a 2C 2R. He talks about 2C 2R. The first C is cue. We need to understand the cues. Basically, it's about making it very, very obvious, and then craving. We need to have some sort of craving for that. Means one is something important, and it just triggers you into doing something. And then the second one is it is really attractive. Means you really love doing that. And then the third one is the response. Basically it's not react but response, right? We also say here, and the response is more about how we make it easy, so that to do what it's not even going to take much time or efforts. And then the reward, how we can make it really satisfying. That way, by doing it, you get something. For example, when you wanna just get out of the house and then go for a walk, and then do it, or even inside the house, you do the infinity walk. We call it as a infinity walk, right? So it means the 8 walk, and then make certain steps. And then that is really giving you a reward that, the sweat is the best gift we can give it to our body. Then you're able to get that energy, instant energy. And you really love, the walking around the woods or the trail or a hike or whatever. And then what happened is this 2C2R are cues, craving, then response, reward. Yeah, we want to just make sure that we pick that kind of right behavioral change. Any change, we want to just start with that simple, tiny little thing, and then make their habit as a loop. So these 4 things will always, come into a loop in a way that you want to understand, because if you don't have the craving for it, you will not do it. If you don't have a cue for it, you will not do it. If you don't really respond to it and then go, then you won't do it. If you don't receive the result or a reward, you won't do it. So he calls it as a habit loop, whereas you want to just continue doing these 4 things, and then continue. He also talks about the habit stacking in a way that how you do multiple things together. For example, I don't know, maybe this might be a little strange topic, but maybe you go for a walk, and then before that you do the breath work, and then do the walk, and then while finishing the walk, you also go check your mailbox, and then you check, you make sure that no mails are checked, with the delay of a few days. You just go check that mailbox, and then just bring it, and then also make sure that you do some stretch for the entire body, so that there's an energy balance. You also take water. You also take. You get my point, right? So there are tiny little habit. You're just stacking it one after other, and then you're able to connect with each other, and in a way that you have a very beautiful thing. Then you smile at people. Smile also, making more smiles. Like more amazing life. You want to just have that, and you're just stacking up. That's called the habit stacking. So in that case, even if you miss one, you will not miss the other thing, right? You really build it, and then make a 2-minute rule. I'll just quickly finish it. This is such a lovely book. I'm glad we spoke about this book. If you want to build any new habit, start with just 2 minutes to do. Don't even take a whole lot of time. For example, if you want to go for a walk, just wear the shoe, and even keeping the shoe ready on the previous night. And as soon as you get down, you're not really going and searching for the socks and then the shoes and which one to wear and which area to go. No, don't think too much about it. Just take that less than 2 minutes to start, and then make it easy to initiate. Once you know how to initiate it, then it's easy to continue doing it. And then create an environment, whereas that environment plays a very crucial role. Like I said, if you want to go for a walk, just keep those shoes ready. Wear the right outfit for running. It depends on the weather. And just get ready. Just you create a kind of environment, whereas that environment will just remind you, or you keep a reminder, you keep a phone ting message, or you even make an arrangement with your neighbor friends. Hey, let's go for a walk. Just create an environment so that they will also remind you for that. So this way, and then just decide that there's something you wanted to really ask yourself that what sort of identity you want to create by doing this, in a way that that behavior is going to be tagged with certain thing. For example, you want to really lose so many number of kg, or you want to have a very fresh start of the day. And you just create some sort of identity for yourself. Hey, I'm an early bird. Here, all of us are early birds here, right? The early bird is an identity. Once you create an identity, you will not even miss one day, right? That means you tag an identity with your goal, and then that habit really align with your identity. Oh, wow. Okay. It doesn't matter what, this guy or this girl will always get up and, just show up and then do it. So you create an identity even with your own kids or family will say, oh, doesn't matter what, Ashok will get up, by 5 a.m. and they will be in the 5 a.m. club. Alamela is there, like Vanilla is there, no matter what's even though it's the central time zone, she will be there, you get my point, right? So you create a beautiful identity and then you create further things. So just get more output from others. I'll just move on. Maybe I'll conclude maybe in another minute or so. Then how we really study the people. If you really study the people on how they are really doing it, they're always focusing on the peak performance. Means you need to really understand, even though there may be failure, but you learn from the failure and move on, and you make the kind of continuous improvement. You continue making that small peak. I mean, even if you're doing some walking every day, at least I want to win my own steps in the previous, as compared to my previous day, right? Maybe another 10 steps more than the previous day, just a little push. And then, you can do it. And then making sure, you have enough water break, maybe at least 3 times, 4 times. You just remind yourself to take water. You remind yourself to breathe. You remind yourself, basically you start even tracking it and then mastering it. And then, making a kind of a small shift and then making it as a continuous thing. So it's really a good book for us. You can, many times we think that, making that positive change, it takes a whole lot of efforts. No, and it's just making it easy. The idea is how we can make it easy in a way that we just get to start doing it, and then you'll start seeing the benefit out of it. I highly recommend each of you to read that book. This is also one of the books which I have gifted to many. And superb. So whomever is ready to share your book, feel free to share. How many of you found it useful? This quick share.
Thanks, Mahendiran. It was like a good recap. It was a good recap for me with Tiny Habits. Tiny Habits also talks.
Right, Tiny Habits also. Beautiful.
But one thing I think Tiny Habits says habit stacking in a different way. He talks about so the already habits what we are already doing and stacking it up to those habits. For example, if I have a habit of brushing my teeth, so anything else after brushing the teeth, cleaning up the table, cleaning up the drawer or something of that sort, stacking on top of it is what Tiny Habits author talks about, stacking with like drinking a coffee. After drinking coffee, okay, I'm going to check my emails, something to stack with that habit.
Lovely.
Different. Little bit.
Good. Those who missed the past, book breakthrough sessions, please listen to the replays. And Ashok presented that book so beautifully. This Tiny Habits. The same way this Atomic Habits was presented by Shireen. And we have been discussing on different books at different times. Yes, who wanna share about the next book? Yes, Sudha seems ready. Welcome, Sudha. I think there's some audio challenge. Maybe after Alamelu, maybe we'll invite Sudha. Alamelu, if you're ready, whatever book you have picked or whatever is in your top of the mind.
I actually went to pick, I'm reading a book. I went to The Light We Carry. But since I heard Vanilla, I actually got Atomic Habits and came because it's also one of my favorite books. You did a fantastic summary, Mahendiran. You just so quickly did, I'm like skipping through the book and you just did a fantastic summary. If it will be helpful, there is a example, and I can read those 2 pages on how to
Sure,
create a
sure.
good habit and how to break a bad habit.
Sure, yeah, all with the years. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Mahendiran really summarized the core of the book. So these 2 pages give some examples. So I'll just read that. So the first law is make it obvious. So under that, there are 3-4 strategies to use. So to make it obvious is to become more self-aware. So one option is fill out the habits scorecard. Write down your current habits to become aware of them. I thought the thought audit that was mentioned in a session before is similar, just to become aware. And then use implementation intentions. So I will take X behavior at this time in this location. And the third piece of that is habit stacking. To make it make it obvious, I will do this after this. So I will, if you want to start flossing, then you'll say I'm going to floss after brushing. And the fourth strategy is design your environment. Make the cues of good habit obvious and visible. The example he gives is if you want to start eating healthy, then you keep the fruit right, where you can see it, or you keep nuts right where you can see it. So it just encourages, the environment has an impact. So these are the strategies for making it obvious. Before I go to the next one, does that kind of resonate? Any examples that anybody wants to share?
Great, thanks, Lamila.
Okay, so I can go on to the second law, which is make it attractive. So use temptation bundling, pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. The second part in that is join a culture where your desired behavior is a normal behavior. Example, again, like, Mahendra spoke about early, everyone kind of coming together. Create a motivation ritual. Do something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit. So I thought that was interesting. Then the third law is make it easy. Reduce friction. Decrease the number of steps between you and your good habits. Prime the environment. Prepare your environment to make future actions easier. Master the decisive moment. Optimize the small choices that deliver outsized impact. Use the 2-minute rule. Downscale your habits until they can be done in 2 minutes or less. And automate your habits. Invest in technology and one-time purchases that lock in future behavior. So these are some suggestions for making it easy. And then the last law is make it satisfying, right? The response. Use reinforcement. Give yourself an immediate a reward when you complete your habit. Sorry, the last one, make it satisfying, is the reward. Make doing nothing enjoyable. When avoiding a bad habit, design a way to see the benefits. Use a habit tracker. Keep track of your habit streak and don't break the chain. So just seeing that is very satisfying for the brain. Never miss twice. When you forget to do a habit, make sure you get back on track immediately. And that is really satisfying for the brain and pushes you to do it again. So this is the summary page on how to create a good habit. The reverse side of how to break a bad habit is, the first law is make it invisible. Reduce exposure, remove the cues of your bad habits from your environment. An example is if you want to stop checking your phone, leave your phone in another room. The second law of, instead of making it easy, is make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset. Highlight the benefits of avoiding your bad habit. And the third law, instead of making it easy here, how to break a habit, is make it difficult. Increase friction, increase the number of steps between you and your bad habits. Use a commitment device. Restrict your future choices to the ones that benefit you. And then the last one, instead of for the reward, you make it unsatisfying. So you get an accountability partner, ask someone to watch your behavior, create a habit contract, make the cost of your bad habit public and painful, which makes it unsatisfying. So that's the summary on how to break a bad habit. I hope that helped. Vanilla, especially for you, this is.
Wow, thank you both. I just spoke about the book and I got like 2 synopses. Very nice. Thank you.
Very powerful sharing, Alamelo. Great, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, it's all, I think when we talk about habit, we share in our sessions also. We are always we are always following some habit. Only that, whether that habit is right or wrong, right? Or whether it can be changed. So we have to just replace the bad habit with a good habit. I'm so glad Alamela touched those important summaries also. Great. We'll just keep going. And I see someone joined in the name of iPhone. If you may please rename it, or you can just unmute and say your name. I will rename for you. Yeah, welcome, Karthik. And yeah, so who want to share next? I think Vanilla might be ready. Yeah, rock and shine. Whatever book, whatever title you want to share.
So I still have my daughter on me, but I remember one book which I've been meaning to read. That is the book called The Good Inside. It's a parenting book. One thing that struck me was in that book they say each the kids, even though the behavior on the outside, we should remind ourselves that the kid's heart, they are good inside, but the tantrum, there can be a reason, like there can be a pattern as to why they are behaving in a certain way, So, I mean, that line stuck me for a long time. Like I only read like a couple of chapters, but that's one book I really want to read. I was trying to log into my Kindle account, but I got stuck.
What's the title of the book again now, Vanilla?
Good Inside.
Good Inside. Oh, beautiful. It's on parenting, is it?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, sorry, Mahendiran. I can't.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a little break and then we'll get to hear from others.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yes, friends, today we are sharing some ad hoc book breakthrough and the books which touched or impacted the individual. So feel free to come, just share from the top of your mind, or just go pick a book from your book library and then just come read a page or two for us. Yeah, that's what we do. And we've been talking about 2 books so far, or 3 book titles so far, like The Atomic Habits by James Clear, The Tiny Habits shared by Ashok, then Good Insights, on Parenting by Vanilla. Yeah, we'll keep it going. Yeah, who wanna share any book? It just impacted, touched. Yeah, next we have Sudha, Karthik, Sudhir, and iPhone. I don't know who is iPhone. Yeah, feel free to unmute and share. It can even be the book, which we have already shared. That's fine too. Yeah. Oh wow! Everybody loved that book, The Power of Silence.
Just like Mahendiran. So today I got up late.
That's fine. So there. Yeah, you wanna just share about any book? Even it can even be a book which you always wanted to read. You're basically introducing a book, like introducing a friend.
I can talk. I think I've gone through this book a couple of times, but I think I got some few glimpses of U Square Mahendiran?
Oh yeah, it's like a how to say it, a preview for the next week. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this book, the author talks about something which is of a quantum leap. So, if we are doing the same things, what we are doing doesn't help. And if we are doing it even more harder and harder, also doesn't help. So he comes up with a revolutionary idea of something called a quantum leap. Even if you look at Albert Einstein's saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So here, the author in one of the hotel stays, he looks at what do you call this fly, which keeps trying to go out of this windowsill. It is stuck inside the room, and it's trying to go out of this windowsill. So it's trying to hit the windowsill. It keeps hitting, thinking that the harder it hits, the sooner it can get out of this, or this bondage or this enclosure. So the fly keeps on trying and trying and trying, and finally, ultimately, the end result is it's going to die, because the harder it's going to try, it's not going to help. But as per this author, a few feet away, if it had thought in a different way, if it had gone the opposite way, there was a door which was open. So that would have made the fly to get out of this room much faster, much easier. So so the main thing is trying to do things in a different way, trying to think in a different way and trying to do things in a different way, rather than doing it harder. Okay, at work or whatever our thing is, trying to do harder doesn't really do much help. So mainly thinking, for example, he talks about if you are trying to cross the river, instead of crossing the river upstream, try to cross the river downstream. Instead of trying to fight against the current of the water, try to use the current of the water to get to the other side of the bank of the river. So that is a small twist or different way of thinking. Since we are all used to our habits, we get caught up into those habits, and we think, okay, if I put in more efforts, if I keep doing the same things much more, a lot more times, I can do this or I can do that. But that's not a thing. But he talks about a quantum leap, and he also gives an example of what quantum leap is with regards to quantum mechanics, where a particle is able to display some other abilities which typically doesn't exhibit. So he also provides that. And also there's another book, I think he also has a few exercises. I still need to go through that book clearly and make some notes for me to remember. So he also provides some exercises in how to break some of the cycles, how to think differently, how to do differently. That's a thing. That would be the small gist of this author. The author's name is Bryce Pritchett. He's a PhD, and he's from Canada. And I think he has a couple of things. I think he has also called QLS, Quantum Leap Strategy. So it's a very tiny book. So not a whole lot of examples, but he would just nudge you in a different way of thinking, nudging it in a different way so that we think differently, and that becomes a quantum, that changes. So even if you think about business, okay, let me try to do more sales, let me try to, if I do more sales, I can make more money. But there could be a small nudge. Okay, let me do this in a different way, where I can have a quantum leap in my sales. something of that sort. That's what I can think of as of now. And also, I'll probably present both U square as well as the QLS in the next one, because U square is a very small, teeny mini book, and also QLS is also a small book. So that's pretty much what I can recollect.
Lovely share, so thank you. Really looking forward to your upcoming book breakthroughs on both the topics. If possible, you may even take one, and so that you can have one each, so that we can have some discussion around it. Yeah, it's not only going through the content, but having some breakthrough around one. For example, the topic what you share about the quantum leap, we refer it to it, in our coaching sessions very often. It's more of how we can really bring a significant instant or sudden advancement, right? And in making a huge shift. And the quantum jump, we also call it as a quantum jump. Yeah, how we can really do it. So there are multiple things, right? So one is you first have some habit or some positive element into your life. And then, like from a mathematical formula, I can even talk about, right? So one is about just addition. Like you do one thing, and then you just add another good thing in your life, and another good habit, for example, some exercise, some reading habit, some attending sessions like this, right? Being part of the 5 a.m. club, and then doing few things. It's all kind of one by one you add to your life. Another one is a multiplier effect. Multiply is even more. It's a summarized a big total of your the addition. It's more than the addition. The multiplier effect is always even more higher. It's like strengthening your strength and how we can do it. And then that becomes an opportunity. We create an opportunity. That's how we do it. Even from SWOT analysis, I used to bring a mathematical analogy to it. So whereas plus, if you see it as a strength, and minus as a improvement need, basically the weaknesses. And maybe it's not the area, the core area where you need to focus, but whereas you want to focus more on strengthening your strength, and automatically the weakening the weakness will happen. But yeah, leaving that from the SWOT analysis. And also you see the opportunity. Opportunity is nothing but the multiples of plus. In the same way, threat, if you see it, it's a divide symbol. Divide symbol is not just minusing it. For example, you want to have that habit, or you want to really do into that, for example, savings. In case if you don't get into savings, you're always minusing it out in your life. Yeah, you just spend more than what you save. Then what happened is you lose certain thing, or that maybe the life is not really super duper great. But what happened when you continue making it as a habit of not doing it, not saving it, then what happened that even will impact some sort of divider effect. Divider effect is like it's like we used to play it cannot suddenly become a threat. It just goes multiple, because it's a kind of habit pattern. And one day it just says that what if, like, if you're not doing any exercise at all, then the body will start showing up. And what if you're not really updating, upgrading, upskilling yourself? Yeah, then the kind of knowledge will show up, and how you face the world and things all will show up. The same way, that's a kind of divider effect, right? Multiplier and divider is a total opposite. So the threat can be better managed if you can manage that, what you needed to really learn. If you're not really learning at the right time, if you're not really taking action at the right time, if you're not really stacking up, then it's not going to. Yeah. Now coming back to addition, multiplication, we spoke about. And the third one is exponential. That's what the U square, U cube, yeah, and U to the power of 4. You can just continue making it, and that's the exponential. Then the quantum is even, there are a lot in between too, but the quantum is like, setting some real bold step and taking, you're really, it's showing up your ambitiousness. It's showing your continuous learning, or a kind of, having some like Atomic Habits or a tiny little thing, but you make it in a compounding way, and you're able to completely, make a huge shift by taking the risk, and again, a calculated risk, right? So it's about that, not to be afraid of your comfort zone, because we say comfort zone is a dangerous zone, comfort zone is a stuck zone, comfort zone is a prisoner zone. And as long as you maintain and manage and identify some safety, because as long as your comfort zone is equal to safe zone, it's good. Yeah, it's only for the safety. I mean, the initial safety, but you cannot just always be in that zone, right? Like the ship in the harbor, like it needs to be released. The triggers need to be released so that the ship can go miles. The same way, the flight needs to elevate itself, or the rocket needs to climb up. So as a human, we need to keep moving, yeah, and we need to make that shift. So, for example, in case, I mean, if you have been thinking, I'm just giving an example, even though this opportunity was given for many people, and you all just jumped into action and then picked it up, and then the way from the day one and the day X, like whatever the number of days you have been spending here or investing here, like you would have seen the huge shift. And in case if the decision was not made, I mean, what would have happened, right? So, like many times, the life happens because of the indecisiveness. Yeah, the more and more we delay the decision, then we'll not be able to. So sometimes you need to just bring that complete, once you feel, yes, it's a good vibe. Yes, it's going to, create some shift or some good things in me. Just, make a decision. That's why we say that making a committed decision is an important element for us to, we keep reminding ourselves every day here, right? I also encourage you to take as many decisions as possible every day. And whatever have been indecisive in your life, just make a decision, and make it right. Many times, what we think, whether it's a right decision, our mind will be thinking. So that's why there's a beautiful Tirukkural, right, which says, in Tuniya Karmam, Tuninda Bininavum Enbadar. I mean, first, make a decision, then make it right. Yeah, and all you need to do is just believe in that instinct, believing that that intuition and the intuitive power, and just jump into it. Yeah, so we can just keep talking more and more about the quantum. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, and it will not happen just like that, right? It needs lots and lots of your belongingness, your commitment, your heart and mind are totally into it, and that shift one day happens because it has such a powerful backup behind it. Yeah, that's the whole idea. Beautiful. Yeah. So anybody wanna share about any another book? Maybe with that we'll conclude today. Yeah, stay tuned for next week's book breakthrough. Ashok is going to share more about this quantum. And this next 108 to 120 days, yeah, this 4 months to go for 2023, we are going to take a deep dive. And I'm super duper sure and confident that each of us will have that quantum jump, quantum shift in our life. Sudha, would you like to share? Ramesh, just want to make sure I know you, Ramesh. Feel free to introduce yourself to the group, and you can also share a book, what you read, or you wanted to read, or you heard about it. I used to say, I mean, when people ask me that, I mean, it used to be my past answer, but I'm just saying it. What do you love, Mahendiran? What do you do? What do you like to do? I used to say, I love to read books and people, because books are people in print, and people are books in nature. So that way you can also share about you, Ramesh. We'll read people like a book. I think there's a book titled that way, right? How to read a person like a book. We'll cover it sometime in the future. So that are able to talk? Not fine. Next time.
Yes, Mahendra, quickly, I'll just tell I'm not going to say about a book that I read, but
Please go ahead.
one book that always keeps coming in my mind is Manase, Relax, Please.
Hmm.
It's a small book that I have, but I've been thinking for a long time. So whenever I cross that, all I know about that book is it's very famous. And for people who doesn't know Tamil, Manase, relax, please. Manase means a mind. So please relax. So that's all that for us. So I heard a lot about it. Like it's a great book. Everyone should read it. But I have not got a chance. But for some reason, whenever I cross that book, I used to just feel that kind of something is there in that makes me relax. So that one word, but I'm going to read that book and share it. Anyone get a chance to read the English version or hear about the audio, you can. It's a very small book, and the word, whatever it says is what is in there. That's what I heard. I'll definitely share that book after I read it. I'll take it as an action item here and go back and get that, Mahendran.
Wow, thank you, Sudha. Yeah, such a lovely book. Very inspiring book. And each topic will cover, I mean, in all areas it'll go. It'll talk about Zen, it talks about Buddhism, it talks about Hinduism, it talks about, I mean, not just a religion aspect. What I'm saying is the references, the stories, and each and every topic, just brings, sometimes I will think even the first chapter itself will just break that paradox about, why life happens in so strange way. For sometimes why such a crazy things happen in our life, we will have those questions, right? Like unanswered, or we cannot even find the answer, why things are happening. For that, he will have the first chapter. He talks about a story of how, even though the person was helping the other, and how that other person was still like, very opportunist, and then, just go. And then how to really understand that. There are lots and lots of insights throughout the book. That's where I even learned about this golden Buddha. I just got some little thing about it, and then I did some research, and then that golden Buddha story, whatever we share here, about each of us are the golden Buddha. There is a Buddha within us. Only that it has been layered with maybe the kind of, like he talks about that the mud Buddha, his ancestors who used to save that golden Buddha from the people who come to grab it or rob it. And then they will just save it as a treasure for generation by generation, and then the next generation will not even realize that. And then by the time of transporting that Buddha from one place to other place, they used to call it as a mud Buddha. And then there was a rain, then that mud started washed away. Then they can see that real gold Buddha inside. So each of us, we can even relate it like an analogy in our life. We can always find the real golden Buddha in each of us. Each of us are the golden Buddha. We need to just wash away our unwanted layers from it, so that we'll find the real core within. Yeah, thanks for reminding about that book, Sudha. And we have done our own book breakthrough in the past, but we would love to hear from you. Alia presented that book in one of our early times. Thank you. Even couple of days before, I was talking to, I attended, some Sugabhadananda's session. We are part of one mastermind, and he was taking some session, and that was really good. Good, great share. Ramesh, you will be able to talk. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Anybody else before we conclude? Yeah, since Sudha brought the memories about Swami Sakubhadananda, right? So I just wanted to share. I think let me see if let me look into my journal, any notes which I have taken from his previous speech just a couple of days before. Yeah, found it. Just a second. Okay, he talks about maybe it's a kind of quick reminder, and then I will just move on. So he had a reflections on certain 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 topics. Okay, that see, in our life we want to look at things in a overall perspective, like a Advaitic perspective. So that means all that is God, like the Vasudev Kudumbam, they say, right? Vasudev Kudumbam means like, there is oneness across, right? So he was talking about that, and then he was giving these four, a couple of pointers. And then the first point is seeing the divine presence in our life. Yeah, those who want to take the notes also, you can share. I can take it, otherwise I'll also put it together. I'll share that in the Google chat also, so that you can have a reference. 1 second. Yeah, there you go. I put it in the chat. I'll also put it in our group. So one is about seeing the divine presence everywhere, in everything. Yeah. Then the second one is a nature connection, how we connect with the nature. The third one is meditation and contemplation, and how we really go deeper, how we can really find the answer from the self and within, and how you really, surrender yourself into that, meditative, to know your own inner power. And then the acts of kindness, how important it is, to be kind with the people around. And even in the love and the relationship mastery also, we have seen in this entire month. And then gratitude, practicing gratitude. When you look at it from the gratitude perspective, I think we have been having multiple sessions around it, right? Even every day we start with the gratitude and things. And even those tough things, even the things which is easy, anything and everything, can be seen through gratitude. That way, the good things will expand, multiply, or it will go in a quantum way. In the same way, even if something negative or you feel some sort of limiting or limitation things are happening, you'll be able to come out of that. It's a very powerful practice. And then it talks about holistic perspective. Don't look at into a small thing. And I think we knowingly, unknowingly, we cover about all this. Yeah, look at things as a whole, not just as a part and piece. Then empathy and compassion. Then study from the spiritual text. Yeah, the spiritual means like not just from your the religion in which you are born, but just go beyond and then learn, be a bee, and then learn from all. Gather from all the flowers, right? Taking the honey from all the bees, all the flowers, and then cultivate the inner silence. This is also related to meditation, but it's little different. Then inner dialogue, be watchful about the inner dialogue, and then practicing the let go process. Yeah, since Sudha brought, I thought, okay, this could help someone. Yeah. All right. One more final invitation to Ramesh. If we can talk, we can talk. If not, it's okay. Feel free to join in future sessions. Anything anybody want to share before we conclude today's session? All right. Thank you all. Until see you again. Chin up, cheer up, and keep shining. Yeah, we'll see you all on top, and see you in future sessions. Take care. Have a lovely Friday and a lovely September, and really looking forward to another great shift as a community will move forward, onward, upward. Yeah, see you all on.
What is this month's theme, Mahendiran?
It's a surprise. Yeah,
It's a
we have our first session on Tuesday, but definitely, this will be another shift, as I said. Yeah, stay tuned. Sometimes there's a goodness in waiting. All right. It will be in one of the topics which I presented long ago, that what all we will cover in this entire year, right? So I'm sure this will be another important topic. Yeah, theme. All right. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, playful. That's what what we say is this is like take a 108 days project, just to show up. All these 108 days, and I'm sure it will be a total different shift, because one is about it starting stronger, more importantly finishing stronger. Yeah, and this year we are going to conclude in this another amazing quarter. We want to make this quarter as an important quarter in our life. Yeah. All right, friends. See you all on top. Yeah.